And the summer has passed almost uneventfully. Well, almost. And I have readied my 9-year-old for yet another school year. And once a year, I get all of his things together and carry out the process of sorting and organizing, and then, of course, compiling everything he needs to start the year off on a high note. I bought for him these really cool erasers that are starships and robots, and these are just perfect for a 9-year-old. But it never ceases to amaze me of all the things we just didn't have growing up. Hopefully, they won't be a distraction to his studies. And this, of course, was his very first day of school. And now I'm back at home with me by myself, and I am getting back into studio work, and it's going really well. But I miss this, the quiet solitude of creating. Not a sound anywhere in the house. Some paint, some canvas, and a long expanse of a few hours to just explore and nothing else. If the rest of my life could only be this easy. And I'm also getting back into the pantry. And this is the new piece we got for the pantry this summer, thrifted. Yes, expensive, well, for me, yes. It was built in 2012, and I found it at the Hope House for $150, along with a $50 delivery fee. Oh, but I love this. It looks somewhat primitive in style, and it is the most perfect fit for the pantry. And if you haven't seen the videos about how we renovated this little off the kitchen bedroom into a kitchen pantry, you can find those links below in the description. It was a really big project, and it's still in progress, but it was the best decision we made for our lifestyle. Was it a success? Well, absolutely. It's been working beautifully in the house. Despite the amount of work and the projects we still need to get done, its function is now, well, spectacular and almost effortless. And that is everything I wanted from this space. This old, lonely bedroom in my 120-year-old home, now gorgeously glorious in all its functionality. And the summer started well enough in early June, and things were starting to grow. And then, of course, we got hit with an army of little creatures who came to eat the goodies and made a terrible mess. This is a possum we caught in the act, and we relocated him to a cozy spot in the forest as per the laws in Ohio. We also dealt with a raccoon, but we won't go into the details about that. And as for the deer, well, they are getting back into the yard again, and my husband is harassing them with his air rifle. No, they are not getting hurt, just humiliated. So until we get the fence completed next year, and then hopefully we should have far less issues then. Now the tomato plants, well, they're having a terrible year. I have less than half of what I grew last year, and I planted far more plants this season. Despite the meager harvest so far, I have managed to can up some jars of curry sauce, though I think I prefer the green tomato version of this much better. I got a good amount of pizza sauce, and this represents 10 pounds of tomatoes from the garden in, yes, 7 small jars. And there, of course, is this really cheap eats enchilada sauce. So if you make your own broth and you grow your own tomatoes, and 1 pint jar of this is going to cost you about 25 cents. So many possibilities and absolutely no bizarre additives. And finally, I am working towards getting as much dried and powdered tomatoes out of the garden as I can. This stuff is so useful for tons of things, and it works great as a thickener for sauces. And I planted way too many cucumbers, all in exotic varieties this year. I made some refrigerator pickles. I am searching around for a gourmet style relish of any kind, as long as it uses cucumbers. So post your favorites in the description. It would be much appreciated. As for my fruit bushes, we are losing our old apple tree in the backyard, and this may be the very, very last year for it. This apple tree was the inspiration for the name Applewood. So we replanted a few more apple trees, only to have the deer break my beloved golden delicious apple tree right in half. And this is why we harassed them with the pellet rifle. The completion of the deer fence, it just can't happen fast enough. Now, I managed to actually harvest a few raspberries after the possums and the raccoons did some damage to the bushes. One of my blackberry shrubs died in the onslaught, but shown here, I am fermenting a raspberry shrub and an orange shrub. And a shrub is a drinking vinegar that is fermented and quite tasty. And the current blackberry shrub that I am making, it is fermenting right here. As you see, I am going to leave it to become vinegar. The blackberries are sour anyway, even the birds won't eat them, so vinegar it is. I have 2 very small harvests of berries. The elderberries, well, there won't be much syrup, but I'm going to make it anyway. And I have these ground cherries. Now, these things kind of look like tomato plants or tomatillo plants, but they produce a little berry that is grown in a husk, and once they fall to the ground, they are ripe. So what do they taste like? Well, it's like having a sweet cantaloupe that isn't quite ripe enough. A bit of green, unripened taste to it. So I need to figure out exactly what I want to do with them. I have way too much jam and preserves already, so I'm not going that direction. Maybe a combination hot sauce with ground cherry. I think that might actually be quite good. And my beet crop, well, that was fantastic, and I canned them up. While everything went perfectly in the process, I am left with white beets. They turned white, and I'm not sure why. And this happens when you're brand new to preserving, so maybe I'll make some kind of, I don't know, soup? Is it that borscht? I can't remember the name. I've never had it. I'll get back to you on that one. And fall is coming, and it's been cold, which of course shortens the season, and the plants are struggling hard. And the vermin did damage to half of the garden, killing off a number of plants, and all in all, it was a pretty sparse year. So I am not sure if I will have another garden video this year. There's not much left, except a ton of overgrowth. Despite the disappointing garden season, we did manage to catch the Geauga County Fair this year. And this is where I grew up, 4-H. Well, in the fine arts section, of course. And just living a somewhat small town existence as I got older, so this brings back a lot of wonderful memories. It was a beautiful Sunday, and we had the best time ever just looking at all of these furry faces that were in attendance. So many cows. I love this face. Oh, what I wouldn't do to have some sheep on our property. Though I'm sure the city neighbors would complain. City zoning, of course, would never allow it. But apparently having deer as wild pets is perfectly fine, though. Currently, we are still debating the idea of having chickens. Not this year. No, not yet. There are too many other things on the list that need to be completed first. And this little guy had a lot to say. I suspect he wasn't happy with his situation. But later on, I found the bagpipers. And boy, do I love bagpipes. I had one at our wedding almost 20 years ago now. I walked down the aisle to the sound of the song Highland Cathedral. So, of course, it's just one of those sounds that makes me very happy. The displays were nice to see, and I was trying to instill in my little guy the importance of being outside in the sun and the fresh air and finding delightful ways to slow down and to live life. But I was a bit of a country girl, and he's growing up in the city, and these two things are very, very different. But in the end, it was still a beautifully slow morning. I am now working on planning for the autumn, sitting in my front porch and enjoying the cool September weather, making lists for the canning schedule, doing some reading, and thinking about the things that will pass the time when the weather gets colder. And that's all for me today. What did you do this summer? Let me know in the description. And are you into bagpipes? Let me know. Until next time.
La di 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 dum di di do dum.